Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we're talking about the highest grossing superhero film of 2016. Joining me today is Todd James.
Hello.
And I'm James Forbes. Alright, let's kick it off. I just spat everywhere. Alright, let's go anyway.
Oh my god.
Alright, so the first film of next year is a little small indie film called Batman v Superman. No, Deadpool. Isn't a small indie film either.
It's not.
This is quite a big budget
yeah,
one.
It's a big film.
Heading to cinemas near you in the UK, February 12th. Which is quite an interesting release date. Has there been another? I don't think there's been a superhero film around that date. I'm probably wrong.
I think Kingsman came out, oh, well, that was end of January.
Yeah.
And that's a comic book film, but
Yeah, but not a
straight superhero kind of, no.
Yeah. Interesting though. Interesting. It'll be the first R-rated film. You think it's gonna do well?
Well-ish.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's too... The problem is, if you speak to the average person, first of all, they don't know Deadpool, but that's not as important. More importantly, if you give them the pitch of Deadpool, they'll sort of go, what?
It does seem a bit
It's odd.
strange. It's like, so what does he do? Well, he's like a mercenary and he's quite funny, and there's a fourth wall that he exposes. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
It just needs, what it really needs is a really good trailer. Because, I mean, me and you, and probably most people listening to this, are going to see it either way.
True.
But then, I always think of the test is, do my parents want to see it?
Yeah.
And do they want to see Deadpool? Probably not.
Well, Ryan Reynolds in it, and he just did Women in Gold, so
You're right.
matching market.
My parents are stereotypical old people.
Yeah.
So they who didn't see Women in Gold.
Oh, that's
Oh.
a shame. Yeah. Okay. I personally think that because it's an R-rated film, there's only so well it can do.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the UK, the BBFC rating will be. If it's going to be, I mean, if it's R-rated, it means it's definitely going to be a 15
Yeah.
at minimum.
I think it will be 15, not
Whether or not if it will go up to an 18.
very few films are 18, and I think
Yeah.
because it's kind of tongue-in-cheek and humorous, it'll probably stick at 15.
Yeah. I personally would love it if it was an 18. An 18 superhero film, that'd be great.
Makes no difference to me because
No.
I'm over 18, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think the highest rating R-rated film is Passion of the Christ, that Mel Gibson malarkey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, I'll take your word for it.
And that made, I say only, it's a lot of money. Like I think it was like between 450 and 500 million
Right,
worldwide.
but that also made a lot because in America you can still take your kids to, so
True.
and a lot of, not meaning to be racist and stereotype, but a lot of middle America is highly religious, so they would have said, R rating, who cares? It's probably historically accurate if
Yeah.
that's what you believe in. And they would have gone to see it anyway and been like, see kids, and that's why we worship God. I've
I
never
suppose-
seen Passion of the Christ, I don't really know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. He blames the Jews, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
do
done
I.
that a couple of times, Mel Gibson, hasn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Deadpool, I think it may be able to beat that record, maybe.
I think it definitely won't,
Yeah.
but okay.
And I think out of all the kind of future films that are coming out, like all future films are,
Yep.
this has got the most potential to break a record like that, or any new record.
I don't see it. I can see it having a big opening weekend, which I know the biggest R-rated opening weekend in America is, I think it's Matrix Reloaded. And I can see it breaking the opening weekend, but then after everyone's seen it, or
Yeah.
all the sort of target audience, I think it might,
Yeah.
disappear.
Fair enough. And it's, however, it's got about just over a month until the next superhero film. Obviously, there's other films that will be coming out,
Mhm.
but it's got just over a month to the next one, which is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which is expected for a March 25th. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
25th release. So Yeah, what are your thoughts on that one?
I think some people will see it. I think, yeah, that's probably going to be the biggest one of the year. I think if Age of Ultron, which I loved and I know you loved, if that had been slightly better received by wider audiences, I might be saying Civil War would be sort of the highest grossing one, but because it was, mostly positive, but a lot of people didn't like it as well.
Yeah.
I think it sort of leaves the door open for Dawn of Justice, which is the worst name ever, to sort
Yeah.
of creep in there and not creep in there, sort of go in there like, hello, I'm making lots of money now,
Yeah.
and make lots of money. Also, Batman, he has
Yeah.
that kind of effect. If it was Man of Steel 2, I wouldn't sit it. We wouldn't be talking about it like this.
True.
But,
But we're gonna see Batman. We're gonna see Wonder Woman again,
yeah,
and we're getting to see Superman again.
Aquaman, he's in there somewhere,
Yep.
probably
Yep.
just having dinner in the background.
I think Cyborg he'll be making an appearance.
Yep.
So
Static
there's
Shock, Jaden Smith, he'll be in there.
no Static Shock, no. Sadly.
Stephen Amell, he'll be there.
No Green Arrow
No.
either.
Robert Downey Jr., he might turn up.
No. What?
No,
No.
probably not. Paul
Um,
Rudd.
But it's gonna be the first time we're gonna see Batman and Superman in the same film in live action.
Because we saw it in the
duking it
Lego
out.
movie, and it was great.
That was pretty great.
I loved
yeah.
it.
Yeah. So we're gonna see him bash it out, smash it up.
Bash it out. That's
Yeah.
right.
I think that's the.
I think you're thinking of a
Yeah.
different, a different film.
Oh right.
Right.
Yeah. So probably the biggest film of the year, possibly the biggest film. I'm not gonna say it
Go on.
of all time.
Definitely not.
Okay.
But okay.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
certainly not. I'd.
I guess
put
a lot of
money
older
on
people not gonna watch it. Why would you? It's not. I mean, it's still an event, and it's still a big deal. We'll see what it
But
goes.
also, I think you're forgetting. People didn't really like Man of Steel. I mean, some people did, but
But a lot
it's
of
at like
people.
56% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've got that up in front of me. I didn't just pull that off the top of my head.
Okay.
So
Take your word for it.
yeah, that's sort of just over half. It's not even certified fresh. Not even certified fresh. So,
Yeah.
And if you look at its box office as well, another thing I have open in front of me, I don't just know this, 668 million. Not to, turn your nose up. Nothing to turn your nose up at, but that's still not that much compared to other films.
But
I don't
okay,
know.
okay. You're comparing it to Man of Steel. The first word of the title is Batman.
Yeah.
People-
Do you think that's on purpose?
Yes, I think that's almost
Yeah,
deliberate.
I know it was a joke.
Yeah.
Not a good one.
Batman is a Goliath in the movie
Yeah.
industry now,
Everyone loves Batman
and everyone loves Batman.
because he's Batman.
Which brings it up to let's go to its competitor for possibly
Mhm.
the biggest film of the year, possibly the biggest film of all time. Although you highly dispute that, but yeah,
I don't think it will be.
Captain America: Civil War, which they just keep on adding more and more people in, just tons of them, just throw them all in.
But do you hate it or do you love it?
Love it, absolutely
I love
love
it.
it.
It's great.
Let's get every single Marvel character ever, plus more,
Mhm.
and just get them involved.
Let's get Abomination in there. Let's get Malekith, everyone's favourite Thor the Dark World villain. Stick him in there.
Let's not get Malekith,
No?
but let's get everyone else except for Malekith.
What about the Frost Giants? What about
That's terrible.
what about Mickey Rourke? He was in
Yeah,
Iron Man.
Whiplash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sam
not that
Rockwell.
Whiplash. The
the drummer. Just
The
have like
drummer.
a musical interlude with
No.
J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
but this Whiplash, yeah,
Right.
the Marvel Whiplash, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Marvel's got the track record.
Mhm.
They've been doing it really well.
And it has got their two biggest draws,
Yeah.
Iron Man and Captain America.
But what does this film kind of bring new to the table? This not just another Avengers film?
It is, and I love it.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I see.
I'm
It's
just
not
thinking like for new audiences, they hear Captain America: Civil War.
new audiences. All the people who didn't see Avengers,
Yeah.
all
Well,
six of them.
there are still a lot of people who haven't gone out to see Avengers, haven't gone to see all these superhero films because they don't care. They're like, all right, yeah, another superhero film. I get it.
I think at this point, if you're not into it, I'm not sure anything can convince you.
I think a Batman and a Superman being in the same film
You think so?
would be like, oh, especially if you're much older, you may have seen the Superman way back when, and be like,
Oh, have you heard Christopher Reeve is in a new film with Batman? Like, I don't see it.
I
Personally.
can kind of, at least with that, it's bringing something new to the table. Although they're pretty much the same film of two sides of these great heroes going against each other.
Just one has a good track record and one has Batman.
And one is Batman, yeah. And Batman.
So what you're saying is 11 films that people love
yeah,
versus Batman.
pretty much, yeah.
And Batman's probably going to win.
Yeah.
What if it was Batman versus Iron Man?
Ooh, hello.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I would enjoy
It'll
that.
probably be Batman wins because he always somehow wins.
Well,
everything.
well, I don't think he would, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. The other film. So Captain America: Civil War is due out April 29th.
We're pretty much getting one a month at the moment.
Yeah, it's
February,
pretty good
March,
to be a
April.
fan at the moment.
Yeah.
Then we've also got XMen Apocalypse, May the 19th,
Mhm.
and this is the follow-on to Days of Future Past, and because of all their time-traveling antics, is awoken Apocalypse, who's some big guy.
You're just. I mean, that's probably what it will be, but you're kind of making that up because it hasn't been announced.
Yeah. No, I think that's true.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. And then we got Oscar Isaac. He's playing the big baddie.
A notoriously big draw at the box office.
Yeah. Well, he's not at the moment, but he is in Star Wars. And Star Wars is going to be huge.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
A lot of people are going to watch Star Wars.
Yeah,
And then a lot of people will then know who Oscar Isaac is.
true.
You know, we loved him in Ex Machina.
We did.
What did he say in that? What was that dance thing?
I love that dance scene.
Yeah.
It's my favourite dance scene in any film,
Yeah.
and I've seen Grease too.
Yeah. It is. Wow. Yeah. It is great.
Yeah.
So, and then we get a whole new young cast of X-Men's.
X-Mans?
X-Mans.
Ex Machina.
So, I think this one's gonna top the previous. I think this may get to 1 billion.
I know
As
you
it's-
think that. I, again, disagree with that.
Yeah.
But
I think this is it. This is the end of it all. This may be the end of the X-Men universe, and they probably restart it again.
well, it's definitely not the end. If you look ahead in the release schedule, you'll see. Mind you, all right, we won't spoil what's coming next.
No.
But all right,
The next film, Suicide Squad.
this is the wild card.
Yeah,
I
we're
think,
getting the
Apart from
Joker,
perhaps Deadpool.
Harley Quinn for the first time.
What do you think of all the Joker? I'm assuming you've looked at all the sort of the pictures that have been coming out of him, all the set pictures and stuff as well.
I really like it. I think they're going for something new. I think you had to do something different. You couldn't do what Heath Ledger brought to the table.
True.
You had to be like, okay, that's the Heath Ledger one. Now this is our one. Okay, guys? Guys?
Guys,
Guys.
why are you all leaving?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm don't think I'm not as keen as you are, but
I think just the actress who plays Harley Quinn, what's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Sold many guys a ticket just for her being in it.
Maybe. All right. So take away Joker and take away Harley Quinn.
Would you see this? I'm looking at the picture of the cast now.
I can't stop looking at Jai Courtney.
Yeah.
He's gonna have boomerangs in that film. I mean, everyone
They're
wants to
underneath
see
that jacket right now.
Yeah, there's gonna be a moment where he opens it I won't go there, but where he opens up his jacket
Yeah.
and there's like 26 boomerangs, and he says something like, I don't know,
What
good day,
comes
mate,
around.
and then oh wait, you say that again? What goes around comes around,
Definitely.
and then he's just gonna throw all these deadly boomerangs.
No, I watched the TV series Arrow, and they
Right.
had Captain Boomerang on that, and they had quite a serious actor doing it.
Yeah.
They did it quite well actually, because he said every single one of those cheesy lines, and you can see the actor dying inside as he said it. And
Great.
it made it funnier.
I love it when you can see an actor hating
Yeah.
the work they do.
Yeah.
It makes you can relate to them.
Yeah. Because he was like, "This is ridiculous," but he was totally accepting of that, and it was fairly well done, and it was like a crossover episode with the Flash, and he
Right.
appeared in both.
Did he have those boomerangs that can move faster than the Flash?
He didn't know. It was
He
just
didn't.
it was well, they weren't ordinary boomerangs. They had some technology in them that made them good.
Of
I don't really
course.
understand.
Otherwise, he'd be a pretty rubbish villain.
Yeah, if it's just made out of wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, Splinter. Yeah. Suicide Squad. I think it's. I mean, the two Goliaths are Captain America and Batman
Yeah.
v Superman. I think there's no other film that's going to be
No,
higher grossing than those two.
definitely not. No.
Suicide Squad compared to the rest of the list.
Apart from X-Men, I think
think
X-Men will
it's-
be number 3.
I think X-Men will be number 3 as well. Suicide Squad, maybe number 4. You know, we're getting the Joker. Warner Brothers are doing this very smart. They know they've looked back at the comic book films they've done. What did people like? They love Batman.
Yeah.
That's quite clear. So
Yeah.
they're like, let's put
Everyone
Batman-
loves Batman.
Yeah,
Apart from Superman.
let's release 2 films in the same year. One film has Batman, and what did everyone love in the Batman trilogy was the Joker in Dark Knight. And let's put the Joker into the other film. I think it's smart.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see. Yeah.
The next film out, so Suicide Squad is August the 5th. Continue with the once a month kind of theme, except for January.
So skipped a couple of months.
And then it skips a couple of months. We've got October the 7th for Gambit. Now, there's no official name. I'm not sure if they're going to be like X-Men Gambit or X-Men Origins Gambit. Hope not.
Yeah.
God, no.
Or if it'll just be Gambit.
Yeah. Wasn't there another one with
Jake Gyllenhaal as Nightcrawler.
No.
No. Right.
No, there was another film called Gambit, and it had that the Charlie Zane, Cameron Diaz in it with Pierce Bronson.
Pierce Brosnan.
That's the guy. That
Right.
guy. Yeah.
Hold on.
Anyway, yeah. So this is Gambit. A lot of people's favorite character from the X-Men
Yeah.
animated TV series that was way back when.
Do you think Gambit can do that accent? The Gambit accent?
Do I think Gambit can do a Gambit accent?
That is
Yes.
the question
Do I
I
think
asked.
Shannon Tatum can do a Gambit accent? No.
Yeah. No. Okay.
No, I don't think he'll do the accent. I think he will just. I hope he doesn't as well. Just
You
'cause I
hope
don't-
he doesn't.
Yeah, I
Did
really
you hear that,
do.
Gambit fans?
Because I don't want him to do imitation of Gambit. I want him to do his interpretation of Gambit.
And let's face it, the Fox Marvel films, they don't really care if they stick to the
No,
comic continuity.
no.
So
They like to change it up a bit, and I think with
Yeah.
this, change it up a bit. People love Shannon Tatum, especially once we get Magic Mike XXL come out.
a film we're all looking forward to very much.
Yeah. So
Do you think they'll give him long hair? Because there is the picture of him in 21 Jump Street
yeah,
in like the beginning of the film where he has long hair.
and
He looks really, really stupid because he's got like a big square head, very handsome.
yeah,
But I don't know if he's going to suit
long hair
and pink
yeah.
eyes.
I think the eyes I might keep, but the hair possibly not. No.
So
We'll see,
essentially,
guys.
he's just going to be a guy with a stick and some playing cards.
Yep.
Great. Can't wait to watch that one.
I'm excited.
I am
Yeah,
actually
Gambit.
excited.
Hopefully, it's been rumored recently that Wolverine's gonna make an appearance both in Deadpool and in the Gambit film.
That is the easy way to sell it.
Yeah, because people love Wolverine.
You know
so-
that thing you like? We've put it in another film.
Yeah.
I.e.
Brothers did the
exactly
same
what they
thing,
did
yeah.
with Batman.
Fox got 3 films out in the same year. Oh my.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next film, October 28th,
3 weeks later.
Doctor Strange, with Benedict Cumberbatch.
That is his name, said in a strange way. Yes.
Yeah. Now this one, Benedict Cumberbatch is really hot right now.
He's so hot right now. Right. Well,
He's very
is he?
popular.
He is. He is not a draw though at all in any way.
No.
That's the thing. He is. He has that sort of Tom Hardy effect where people who know him love him and think he's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, what apart from doing the voice of Smeg in the desolation of Smeg. But that you can't really put that down to you can't really put that down to him.
Yeah.
What he has never really been in a film that's been like, oh, look at the star power of Cumberbatch. Everyone just loves him in Sherlock, where they get him for free.
Mm.
I think he's great. I think I've seen most of the films he's done, like Imitation Game, excellent. I can't really think of any more
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Isn't he going to be in that new Johnny Depp film?
Black Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna be in that.
they've kind of hidden him in the trailers. There's one
Yeah.
shot of him like, I'm happy, like
Yeah.
smiling. But yeah,
But it's the next installment of Marvel. I think, again, this is another Marvel product that not many people know about. But
yeah.
Marvel know what they're doing now. They've done this a trillion times now. Guardians of the Galaxy did really well.
hmm
If they're able to kind of hook in that horror audience who want a kind of mystical horror,
Which they can definitely draw on if they do Doctor Strange as he is in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then draw on the Marvel fans that are already there. And
Which are probably going to see whatever they put out.
pretty much, yeah. And draw on the fans of Benedict Cumberbatch. I think those are three great big pools of fans all going out to see the same film.
Yeah.
And then
Especially if Civil War is good. And
Oh.
if they plant a lot of seeds.
for Doctor Strange, because that
Especially if they have a post-credit scene of him going, oh, I'm travelling through
a
space
dimension.
and time.
Yeah,
I'm the
Hello,
Doctor
where am I?
Strange.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The next film on the list, the last film on the list.
Which I don't think is going to happen. But
Yeah, I
carry on.
also agree with you. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. The Sinister Six,
Right.
November the 11th by Sony Marvel. Now, for those who don't know, SpiderMan, he's owned by Sony, and they've recently done a deal so that Spider-Man can feature in the Avengers type films, and he's got his own film coming out in the year after 2016.
Mhm.
What's the year? What's it?
2017, is it?
2017.
That's the one, yeah.
That's the one. That he's going to have his own film then. So it's a bit odd that they would do a Sinister Six film before they've introduced a new Spider-Man.
Mm. And Spider-Man is supposedly going to be in Civil War. I think it's all
Yeah.
but confirmed, basically. But
Yeah.
even so, before he has his own film, because this Spider-Man we're going to be getting now, just in case anyone doesn't know, isn't the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Because, it's fine to have the same character played by two different people 2 years apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
No one's going to notice. What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't.
However, why Todd and I both don't think this is going to happen. This film was announced when they were doing, just before Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, that they were going to expand the Spider-Man universe, and Sinister Six was laid down to come out, and they had work going on that. A female character from the Spider-Man universe was going to have a film.
They made a big deal about beating Marvel and DC to it,
Yeah, they wanted to
only for that to
jump
completely...
onto the bandwagon of
Yeah.
a lead female character, yeah. And even rumours of an Agent May,
Agent Aunt May. Not Melinda May.
not Melinda May.
Which I would probably be okay with
That's
if that
a
happened.
lot better, yeah.
Yeah.
But an Agent Aunt May. But,
The A is for agent.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
Now
I
that-
think
now
this is
that
just
that
the
works.
kind of thing they just haven't said it's not happening, but
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
yeah, I'm fairly sure that's not going to happen. But if it does happen, be interesting, but possibly. I know when they announced that Spider-Man was joining the Avengers world, that they said he would appear in one other film before his film.
hmm
It may be this one. What better way to kind of launch
Yeah.
Spider-Man than in Sinister Six? What better way to avoid doing an origin story when all of these criminals already hate him? And
Yeah.
what better way to just let's go. But what would be great, what I would love them to do, which I know they could never, they film the whole film and you only see Spider-Man in the Spider-Man outfit. You don't see him out of mask.
Or you have a group of nerdy white young kids
Oh yeah.
hanging out, and there's like 6 of them, and they're all called Peter, and you don't know who is him.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
But,
It's the worst idea I've ever had.
Yeah. So looking over, how many is that? That's quite a few films. Looking over how many out of those 8 films that are
Let's
coming
call
out.
it 7. Let's face it, Sinister Six. Let's not
Yeah.
even.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
not count Sinister Six. Out of those 7 films,
hmm
who do you think will earn the least at number 7 for 2016?
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
I think it's gonna do because it's sort of been widely publicized that Deadpool doesn't really have the budget the rest of these are all gonna have
Yeah.
because they're not as confident in it and because it's R-rated and because of all that stuff. Yeah, I see it cracking 300 million worldwide, maybe 350, but which I mean that's still a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Like
All of these are gonna make a lot of money.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah.
but
Um.
yeah,
I for number 7, I'm going with Gambit. I don't
okay.
think.
That's my number 6, so
Yeah.
we're not too far
And then guess
away.
what? My number 6 is Deadpool.
It's Deadpool.
Yeah. So
Huh.
we've kind of agreed on like Deadpool and Gambit.
Mhm.
They're going to be toward the bottom.
I think they'll be around the same,
Yeah.
around 300,
around the same,
350.
yeah. And then I think for number 5 would be Doctor Strange.
Yeah. For me, it's that again, that and Suicide Squad. I just don't know if how well general audiences are going to react to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, yes, it has sort of the Joker, but if people don't like the look of the Joker, people aren't going to see it. And if they're, I mean, you look at who's that? David Ayer.
Yeah.
He's not a big draw either. There's nothing really
The
going for this
director,
film.
David Ayer.
Yeah, sorry, the director David Ayer. There's not a lot really going for this film if you take away the Joker and if people aren't liking the Joker. I mean, it's got Will Smith in it. He's probably the biggest draw.
People love Will Smith.
Yeah, who loved Focus?
Anyway,
Name 3 people.
I
Right.
know you weren't the biggest fan, but yeah,
It was fine. It happened,
it happened.
and then
yeah.
it was gone.
It was a film.
That is the best thing I can say about it. It was a film.
But yeah.
But I think me and you again agree. Suicide Squad and Doctor Strange are
They're going
4
to
and
be
5.
quite close. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell who would be better.
Doctor
but-
Strange again, if it can recapture that Guardians of the Galaxy, like flash
Yeah.
in the pan kind of, not flash in the pan. What do I mean?
I have no idea.
Lightning in a bottle. Let's go for that.
Let's go with that. Some sort of
Yeah.
acronym. Anyway, and then moving into the top 3,
Yeah.
I think we're both going to agree on this.
Yeah, I think we
Number
agree in the
3,
order.
XMen Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm saying Civil War.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close, definitely. And then for number 1, I think Batman v Superman, just because
Yeah.
it's never happened before. This is more of an event than any other films on this list.
The thing it depends most on is how good they are. If Civil War is as good as Winter Soldier was,
Yeah.
it can potentially outdo Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It can. Whereas if Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, it's gonna make a lot, no matter how good and or bad it is. Good and bad, no matter how good or bad it is.
Yeah.
But if it's received as well as, or as not well as Man of Steel was, or even worse, if people are like, this is a mess, I hate Ben Affleck, just exactly in that voice,
Yeah.
then it could, conk out at 800 million,
Yeah.
and then there'll be Oscar Isaac dressed as Apocalypse going, ha. I'll
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
Apocalypse doing even better.
the 1, 2, 3 of Batman, Superman, Captain America, and X-Men is probably about right.
Cool. So, what do you guys listening? What do you guys think? Definitely let us know.
Is Sinister Six happening? That is the biggest question that's come out of today.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it isn't. It will probably get announced. Once
In fact,
they
let's
more
never
Spider-Man
mention it again.
news. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we ignore it, then it won't happen.
That's how the world works. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the biggest grossing film, Batman, Superman, or Captain America? And what will be the least highest grossing, Gambit or Deadpool? What do you think? Leave your list in the comments below.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.